I've driven Route 77 for 10 years. You learn to ignore the stories, haunted roads, hitchhiking ghosts, all that campfire crap. But there's a stretch outside Blackwater, Nevada, where the rules don't apply. I didn't believe in ghosts until I picked up her, the passenger who never gets off. Let me set the scene. It was late October, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones, even with the heater cranked. Route 77 cuts through desert and dead towns, no cell towers, just coyotes and cracked asphalt. I was hauling a load of refrigerated meat to Reno. Not glamorous, but it pays the bills. My rig? A 2005 Freightliner. She's got a busted radio and a CB that only picks up static after midnight. But that night, the static sounded different, like whispers underneath. I shrugged it off. Truckers hear things. I told myself it was nothing. Sleep deprivation. Long hauls do that. Somewhere past mile marker 231, things started to change. I noticed a woman on the side of the road, just standing there. White sundress, bare feet. Middle of the desert, 1 a.m., no jacket, no car, just standing under a flickering street lamp. I shouldn't have stopped. I know that now. But her eyes, they looked grateful, like she was waiting for me. She didn't speak much, just told me her name was Clara, said she was headed to Milford, sounded like an old town name. She climbed in and stared out the window, silent, still. The cab temperature dropped almost immediately, and not just cold, funeral cold. Then my CB crackled, a voice, garbled, distant. Turn back, wrong road. I looked at Clara. She didn't even flinch, just started humming. A nursery rhyme, maybe, one I couldn't quite recognize. It crawled up my spine like fingernails on frosted glass. I glanced in the rearview mirror, no reflection. The mirror showed the empty seat. I blinked, looked again. Still nothing. I told myself the mirror was fogged, that I was tired, hallucinating even. Then she whispered, "You're kind. Not like the others." The GPS started glitching. Said I'd passed Milford 15 miles back. Only problem was, it never showed up on the route at all before. Then Clara pointed to a dirt road. "Take that shortcut, it's faster." Truckers don't take shortcuts. Not in unfamiliar territory. But something in my hands, my own damn hands, turned the wheel. And I drove straight into the dark. That shortcut she pointed to? It was more like a dirt scar cutting through the woods. No signs, no lights. Just dead pine trees leaning in like they wanted to listen. Branches scraped the roof of the cab like fingernails. Clara didn't speak, she just kept humming. Same tune, same eerie lullaby. I tried the CB again, just static, until... I don't stop, she's not... Gone. Dead air. I reached for my phone, no signal, not even a blinking dot. But something else was on the screen now. A screenshot. I hadn't taken it. I didn't even open my photo gallery. It was an article, old and yellowed. Local woman vanishes on Route 77, October 31st, 1987. Black and white photo of a woman, Clara, same dress, same eyes, same hollow look. I wanted to believe it was a glitch, a sick joke, but the smell hit me next, rotting meat. I pulled over, jumped out, opened the back trailer. Seals were fine, everything intact. Cold as hell inside, but nothing wrong. I turned back toward the cab. Clara was smiling, and she said, "It's not your cargo." We drove for another 20 minutes. I saw the town sign, Milford, population 542, except it looked abandoned. Shuttered shops, a diner with one chain holding up the sign. Streetlights were on, but no cars, no people. Clara pointed to a motel, one of those crumbling, post-war joints you only see in horror movies. Neon sign flickering, VACY. I parked. She handed me a $20 bill. It looked new, crisp, too crisp. and vanished into the fog. The money? Dated 1986. I blinked, and she was gone. Vanished into the fog. No sound, no door slam, just gone. I held that bill, trying to make sense of anything. Then the truck stalled, dead. Dash lights flickered. CB erupted in screams, and then I saw them. Faces in the motel windows, pressed up against the glass, no eyes, just black holes. I froze, and that's when the police cruiser pulled in. Relief hit me like a brick. The officer stepped out, perfectly calm, no radio chatter, no badge name, just this big smile. Then he walked past the headlights, and cast no shadow. He leaned into my window and said, "You shouldn't be here." His smile stretched too wide. "Clara's been lonely." I panicked, slammed the gas. The truck came alive like it wanted to run. Headlights lit up the motel, and in the reflection of the glass, I saw my own face, twisted in fear, screaming inside the cab. Only, I wasn't screaming. In the rear view, Milford melted into smoke, but Clara's voice whispered through the vents, "You're mine now." I didn't sleep for days. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Clara in the mirror. Then, last night, the GPS rerouted me back to Route 77. On its own. The steering wheel locked. Headlights pointed toward Milford. She was waiting. Not just Clara, dozens of them. Pale figures in outdated clothes. The officer stood at the front, holding a frayed rope. "Time to join the convoy," he said. I slammed the gas. The rig plowed through them, no impact. They phased through the cab, cold as ice. Clara sat beside me, rotting now, her sundress stained with mud. "You're one of us," she croaked. "We ride forever." The truck careened off the road, rolled 3 times. I woke up in the desert, rig totaled, no bodies, no Milford, just a ticket stub in my pocket. Milford Motel, Room 12, October 31st, 1986. I stared at it for a long time. Thought maybe I was dead, maybe this was hell. Cops said I was drunk, lost control of the truck, hallucinated everything. They said Milford hasn't existed since the 90s. They said the road I described doesn't connect to anything. But last night, the CB came on by itself, and I heard a voice I knew too well. "Don't pick her up." I don't know what that means. If I'm warning myself, if it's a loop I can't break. But the GPS lit up again. Same route, same road, and I swear. For a second I saw the motel lights in the distance. If you're ever on Route 77 after dark, check your rear view. If the passenger has no reflection, don't stop, don't even slow down. Subscribe for more horror from the roads less traveled.